Joanie Crea lay on top of a single bed, tucked up against the wall below the screened windows. She was on her stomach with her face pressed at a funny angle into a pink floral pillow, a cord wrapped around her neck. She wore khaki shorts and a t-shirt, and her arm dangled over the cot as if she'd been thrown there in a hurry. Grass-stained white socks covered her feet. The heat and decomposition had caused the body to bloat, but even from a distance, Red saw that she was a small woman, probably no taller than Caddy. She motioned Jason to stay at the doorway as she walked carefully into the room. Even though it was obvious that Joanie was dead, she needed to confirm. As quickly as she could, she observed the body. Joanie's eyes were open and reminded her of the deer Will had shot several years ago, opaque and lifeless. Without touching anything, she leaned close enough to whisper, "We'll find who did this." Backing away from the body, Red switched on the flashlight and swept the room. "Notice anything unusual?" she asked, signaling to Jason. "No shoes? That's one thing. Now look carefully around the room." He squinted as she pointed the flashlight at the floor. "It's so neat and clean. Considering the state of her socks, it looks to me like the floor has been swept. We have a very meticulous killer." While they stood in the doorway, she took out her phone and called the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. She needed the forensic team as quickly as possible. "Walt's here." "Sheriff Red Hammergren from Pearsall County, I've got a body for you." "Have you examined it?" Waltz's line crackled with poor cell service. "Only to determine the victim is dead with a rope around her neck. I'm leaving the rest up to you and your experts." "At your service. We'll be there in an hour." While they waited for the forensic team, Red directed Jason back to the house to get statements from the three women. After he left, in the thick quiet of the woods, Red retreated from the doorway of the summer house and sickly sweet odor of the body. A slight breeze whispered through the pines. She stood on the edge of the clearing under one of the tall trees. Its scent was a welcome relief from the smell in the summer house. Murder was not common in Pearsall County. During her tenure as both a deputy and the sheriff, she'd only investigated 2 murders. One was a domestic murder-suicide that left 3 children without parents. The other, last winter, had been a teenage boy caught up in drugs. Will had warned her when he'd hired her as a deputy that deaths would stick with her even after the cases were resolved. It cuts a piece out of your humanity when it happens. Thinking about the nurse who had once been a vibrant human being, she was struck with how carelessly the body had been dumped on the cot. The killer was either rushed or very angry. She inhaled the scents of the forest and closed her eyes. The quiet here would not last long.